We're live now. We can start.
Yeah, Ravneet, you can start.
Namaskar and welcome to everyone present here today. I wish hope, abundance, and warmth for all. My name is Ravneet Sian from the Department of Business Economics, Srimati MMK College of Commerce and Economics, and I'm your host for the afternoon today. Prayer is an amazing privilege. It can move God's heart and initiate positive outcomes. Let's all remember Ma Saraswati with a grateful heart. Can we please play the Saraswati Vandana?
या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमाम् आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदाम् जाड्यान्धकारापहाम् हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्
Our webinar today is the second landmark in the Disha series, wherein we showcase various career paths to our students so that they can make informed educational and occupational choices. Every Friday, yeah, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Every Friday, we are back with experts, information, and insights for a new profession which the students might be able to choose in the future. Our first session in this series was on the challenging but also very rewarding profession of chartered accountancy in association with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Our second session today is about the career prospects of the 3-year LLB course offered by many renowned universities and colleges in India. Our resource person today would be talking about the Civil Services Examination 2, which is a nationwide competitive examination in India conducted by the UPSC. I now invite our principal, Dr. Kishore Pishori, to address this gathering and share his valuable insights with us. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Ravneet. Immediate past President, Advocate Anil Harish sir. Vice Principal Mani Iyer, Roma Wak. Resource person and guest of honor Shanti Dasari Madam, the Principal of GJ Advani Law College, my colleagues and my students. 15 months has been a journey which I've been blessed by the board, where every morning we get up, we get an inspiring, motivational chat on our WhatsApp group. And that starts my day. And I'm blessed that every day, new ideas, new innovations, I'm trying to introduce with my team. Sir, my team has been so vibrant that we have not left a single day untouched even in COVID times. We have taken out e-magazines, we have taken out an FDP, faculty development program, we have taken out students program, and as Ravneet said, every day we are doing one other new initiative. The library bulletin has come about in the last 2 months, which is also a very unique initiative of our college. And let me tell you, we have got a new revamped website for the college, which has been appreciated by each and everyone. So it is your blessings that initiated this new vision for our team, and we aspire to be the best in Commerce College. And in continuing this series, we thought we'd start with a Disha series because November and December month, these 2 months are when the student can plan and inspire to be one of the leaders. And after December, we are intending to start with revisionary lectures so that the students prepare for the exams based on their career plans. And of course, we assume that May and June will be tied up with both their college exams as well as their professional exams. Considering that we started last week with, as she rightly told, with a WIRC ICI program where they career council, and we've got a very good response. Let me tell you, my junior college vice principal every day is motivating students to new courses. So we got a good response of 100 students from the ICI institute itself. This week, Roma Wag Madam himself is a lawyer, and I believe that with the motivational words which you will say, because let me tell the audience, sir, office is a temple for us when we visit as an advocate. It contains so many books which only advocates can read and have the law in its hand. We are always, rather when we walk out of any office or any on the road also, we all worried about law. The lawyers always help us to be on the right side of the law. And today I've got three lawyers with me. One of the topmost lawyers in India, President Anirudh sir, one of the great principal, Dr. Shanti Dasari madam, and one of my own vice principal, Roma Wag. So if I've got three lawyers, I know for the next 2.5 hours, at least I am safe. So with these words, sir, thank you for coming to MMK, and it's all yours, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I speak now.
Ravneet.
Ravneet, sir's resume, please.
Thank you so much. I would now request our Vice Principal, Degree College, Mr. Mani Iyer, to introduce our beloved chief guest for the afternoon, Advocate Anil Harish sir, Trustee and past President, HSNC Board. Over to you, Mani sir.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chief Guest, Advocate Anil Harish sir, respected Principal Dr. Kishore Pishori, Principal Shanti Dasari Madam, Vice Principal Roma Wag, all my colleagues and students. Good afternoon, everyone. I extend a very warm welcome to all of you to the Disha series, which has been organized for students of our college. I find immense pleasure in introducing our Honorable Chief Guest, Advocate Anil Harish sir. He has specialized in the field of corporate law, joint ventures and collaborations, mergers and acquisitions, Indian and international taxation. As a specialist in the field of real estate, Mr. Harish is involved with magazine Propertyscape as well as Accommodation Times for the Institute of Real Estate Management. Mr. Harish has written numerous thought-provoking articles that have been published in reputed national dailies like Times of India, Hindustan Times, and several professional journals. He is a director of several prestigious public limited companies in India. He is involved in several educational and charitable trusts and is the former president of Hyderabad Sindh National Collegiate Board, to which our college belongs. And the board runs more than 25 educational institutions with over 50,000 students and also a newly formed HSNC university. Mr. Harish is much sought after speaker in India and abroad and has given various professional speeches in Belgium, Dubai, Doha, Muscat, Jakarta on various varied topics on FEMA, taxation, etc. We are very thankful, sir, for taking out your time from the busy schedule to attend this function. The presence of such a personality in a career guidance session is really a blessing. I hope that the students can seek little guidance and imbibe something from your thoughts. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manisa. Can I please request our chief guest, Anil Harish sir, can you please say a few words? Can you please talk to our students and motivate them? Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Friends, one of the most famous scenes in English literature relates to the law. In The Merchant of Venice, Shakespeare's play, Portia makes a very fine distinction between a pound of flesh on the one hand and a pound of flesh, blood, and everything else that goes with it on the other hand. It is because of this distinction that she wins a case and Shylock is forced to lose everything that he has. There have been many programs in recent times on television. There's the Boston Legal series, there's Suits, there was the Hindi film Rustam about the Nanavati murder case, and so on. And there is so much drama that there actually can be in the law because the law reflects life. We see this all the time. Clients come to us, they are fighting, or they're very happy, they're ecstatic because they're getting together, doing a partnership, or wanting to collaborate in an extremely exciting venture. But in addition to the drama, there's always a lot more. Law is one of the pillars of society. We all need it. We need to have a system in place. We need to have a structure. And we are very fortunate that we have a written constitution, which is very detailed and which gives us so many rights. The preamble to the constitution is itself a work of art when it says that we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, etc. This is something that you must read because this is what inspires us and shows us the ideals for which our founding fathers of our nation fought so much. The structure in India is that under the constitution, we have the central laws and we have state laws. We also have international law in the form of conventions and treaties with other countries. And when we sign up to become members of organizations such as the United Nations and so on. Earlier, the law used to be more simply categorized. A person was generally considered to be a civil lawyer or a criminal lawyer or a tax lawyer. But now it's much more complex and highly regulated and specialized. So everyone, whether they be in business or whatever they are doing, they need to understand what are the laws that apply to them, because inadvertently you can fall into a trap, into a great difficulty in terms of taxation, in terms of violation of any of the provisions of law, when you're dealing with people, with your staff, and any international contracts, and the Foreign Exchange Management Act, prevention of money laundering. We come across so many different things. And every case has many different aspects to consider. For instance, a person came to me yesterday and he had wanted to make a trust. He had prepared a draft of a trust deed and he showed it to me. He was all ready to go ahead with it. I read it and I said, firstly, the way that you have drafted it, the trust will have an income tax of about 42.5% on every rupee. So in other words, the maximum marginal rate of tax will apply. Then your trust kind of violates or will at some point of time breach the rule against perpetuities, which is under Section 14 of the Transfer of Property Act. Then I said that this is a discretionary trust, and under the Indian Trust Act, these are certain implications that it has. So I explained all that to him, and he was so surprised that so many different laws can apply to a simple document, or what should be a simple document. So these are the things that one needs to know and understand. And for that, every person who is going to carry on any kind of activity in India or in the world now needs to have a knowledge of the law, and therefore they need to go to people who can guide them through this labyrinth of the law. We all have to comply with the law. It's not a choice that is given to us. We all do have to comply. And yet we need the legal structure. So the Roman philosopher Cicero said, we are the slaves of the law so that we may be free. We want the law. We want to be free to do what we can. But as something adjacent to or as an adjunct to that freedom that we must have, we also have to be slaves to the law because we have to abide by it, whether we like it or not. I'm very pleased that MMK College is having this Disha series. You've had one program already on chartered accountancy and this one on the law and the civil services, and that Dr. Santi Dasri is going to be speaking on this. These are very important subjects, and it is critical that all of you who are in the 12th standard or have just finished the 12th or are in your final year or have just finished your degree, your bachelor's degree, should know about this, because as was stated earlier, you have to make an informed choice about what you want to do. There are so many more opportunities in life today than there were in the past. And therefore one has to exercise that discretion properly to see what is suitable, to go into something that works well, that is beneficial to society and beneficial to oneself, and in which one can use one's talents very well. So you will get a lot of knowledge and then be able to decide whether you want to, if you are just at the 12th, if you're at the 12th standard level, whether you want to do the 5-year course in law immediately after this, or whether you would rather finish a degree and then go into a 3-year law course, or not do law at all because you've got so many choices, or whether you will combine the law with something else because you may study law and then not actually practice it. You may go into business or you may go into employment, and yet the knowledge of the law can be very useful to you because it is something that affects our lives in many ways. But as you're taking this decision, you have to also bear many things in mind. It used to be said that a lawyer has to work like a horse and live like a hermit. Well, you still have to work like a horse. Every lawyer has to work extremely hard from morning till late in the night. You cannot stop thinking. You sleep and you dream about what you're going to have to argue or what you're going to speak the next day, or the problems of your clients. So many times, I've sat up till late at night or just lying in bed till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock thinking about their problems. And then sometimes a solution just dawns on you in the middle of the night and you get up and you're so excited about it and you can tell them the next day. Or you go for a case and you have to prepare, you have to think of every different aspect, you have to study a range of laws. So you have to have the breadth and you have to have the depth, and you have to be able to absorb all that and present it in a very clear, succinct manner. You have to be sometimes very brief, and sometimes you have to expand on your thoughts. I remember one case when my father argued many, many years ago, where he got up and he stated his proposition very clearly. It was about 35 years ago. The amount involved in the tax matter was about 1 crore of rupees. And he argued only for 1 minute and he sat down. But it was so convincing that the judges immediately accepted that. So you have to know when to be brief and when not to be brief, when to keep on elaborating on it, expounding the law, giving a perspective on the law, and see what is the best for your clients. But when you work, it is not only for yourself, you're working for your clients. So therefore you have to go on and on at it. You cannot leave any stone unturned, because you have to do the best for your client. Now, this is working hard is true for every profession and every aspect of business today more than anywhere else. It is not only that
Tell him
lawyers have
it's
to
not
work,
on
you know, that
YouTube.
doctors have to work so hard, and especially in these COVID
No,
times,
just tell
they have
him
had to do so much
I'm
and
calling
have
from
to take on
MMK.
so
It's
much
not on YouTube.
risk. Engineers,
Check it.
architects, businessmen, everyone has to do a lot. So it is not that only any one profession requires you to work more than the others, but every profession, every business requires you to work. So you have to be conscious of that and go into it knowing that you will have to do the best
Hello?
that you can.
Gibran, it's not on YouTube. Just check that.
Ma'am, I have just shared a screenshot with you as well. Because they're right, there are around 50 people who have also.
Okay.
And students are commenting their like their roll numbers and their names also.
Okay, it's because I just got a message 5 minutes back that it's not on YouTube. It's okay
I
if
saw
you
that.
put
I
it.
just shared a screenshot of this.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll just check.
Madam,
So you will have many programs in this Disha series, and you will hear a lot. You will understand about the different professions, and you will try and experience them, because once you've got an introduction to it, I'm sure you will talk to lawyers, to chartered accountants, and to people in the finance business, to stockbrokers, and whoever else you're introduced to. You will talk to them beyond that in the months to come and understand more about their business or their profession. But in the law, you also have to immerse yourself completely. There is no limit to the amount that you can study or the amount of time that you can spend on a particular matter. We also have to be aware that the law changes every day. For instance, I wrote an article which was published on the 15th of August, and I found that 10 days later, the law was amended. Section 6 of the Income Tax Act was amended. So now I have to rewrite that article and say that these are the changes that have taken place. As a lawyer, you must always, therefore, study a lot, write a lot, speak, and keep reading about the law and about life, because the law relates to life, it relates to the emotions of each of us, how we express ourselves in different ways. So the practice of law has many challenges in it. It's not just drama and it's not just hard work, but there are many challenges when you are speaking on behalf of a client or representing someone or even preparing a document. You want clarity so that the document can stand the test of time.
Sorry, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Ran, can you please put everybody on mute because there's a lot of disturbance here. We cannot hear Anil Hari sir at all. Ibran, can you please put everyone on mute? I would request all participants, please put yourself on mute. We cannot hear sir at all.
Ibran,
Ibran, can you hear me? Am I audible to you?
Pallavi, put yourself on mute. Pallavi, put yourself on mute.
What a nice place.
Gibran, Gibran.
Roma ma'am, can you please call Pallavi?
Yeah. I'm doing that. I can't get through her line. I'm just trying that only.
I don't know why Gibran is also not replying.
Shamli is there. Shamli, Smita, are you all there? Hello, is Shamli Smita there? Naresh Matai?
Beena ma'am is there. I can see her.
Beena, can you call Pallavi? Beena, please. Aparna, Beena. Hello. I think she doesn't realize her phone is unmuted.
Should we continue then, ma'am? Should we continue, ma'am?
So should I continue now?
Yes, sir. I think. I think. I'm so sorry, sir.
Yeah, that's okay. So there can be many challenges in the law. There can be a lot of satisfaction also when you help people, when you succeed in a case or someone has done a transaction which has gone through smoothly. But remember, there can also be disappointments because other people's problems become yours. Every lawyer cannot win every case. It's in the nature of things that one person will win, another will lose. And sometimes you will be representing the one who has lost. So it can be very disappointing. There can be difficult judges. There can be difficult clients. So it's not a bed of roses. And there can be so many difficult and different situations. For instance, many years ago, my brother-in-law, who's a lawyer also, got a letter from someone. That person was someone whom he had known a few years earlier. They used to be in college at the same time. And we had read about it in the papers. That person had uh, gone home and had a fight with his mother, and then he had killed his mother. So this person was put in jail. And my brother-in-law knew him. I had also met him a couple of times here and there many years ago. He was a little older than I was. So he wrote this letter to my brother-in-law from the jail. So my brother-in-law, he requested my brother-in-law to take up the matter. And so he decided to do so. And we went to see the house where the murder or where the killing had taken place, where the death had taken place. And then my brother-in-law, Mr. Chakriani, handled the matter. And then the person was not convicted of murder, but of something less than that. But those are the situations when you think, what can you help a person when, say, Mr. Chakriani knew this person and he had also known his mother, and one had killed the other. So what do you do in such a situation? Can you just say, I don't want to get involved, I'm going to be aloof, I'm going to stay away? Or do you get involved and then do the best that you can, knowing that there's a system of law and a system of justice, and everyone has a right to a fair trial? There are also many cases where, for instance, people have been raided by the income tax department or by the enforcement directorate, or have had huge penalties levied upon them. Sometimes you feel that they may have actually committed those wrongs or violated the law. But the law imposes on every lawyer a duty to accept the case and do the best that you can. You do it truthfully, you do it in accordance with the law, but it is for the judge to decide. It's not really for the lawyer to decide whether the client is right or wrong. So these are the situations in which you can be. It can be very interesting. There can be one of the advantages is you meet so many people every day. You get to know them, at least an aspect of their lives, about their finances, about their personal life, about their businesses, and so on. So, and you feel that you're contributing in some way. So these can be the pleasures or the advantages of the practice of law. As you go into a profession, you must also think about the financial aspects. Is there a possibility of a good income? Yes, there can be. And today there are many more opportunities than before for lawyers as well, arguing in courts or joining a law firm or joining a company where you can get a good salary. So these are possibilities. Every lawyer doesn't do as well as others. Some do phenomenally and some don't. So you have to see that you do as well as you possibly can in a financial sense and in a personal sense. You have to see what is best suited to you. Some people like litigation and some don't. Some can't stand the thought of litigation. They'd rather be in an advisory capacity and not go to court and argue. So there are many aspects to the law which you will find out about, which you will be informed about, and which you must think about. You are very lucky now that there's so much information on the law, on the internet, on YouTube, that you can go on to any number of programs. And now with these video platforms that we have, Zoom, you can access practically anything. G.J. Advani Law College has had so many good programs in different aspects of the law. So has Casey Law College. And for instance, there's a Confederation of Indian Industry, which has programs every day. I think there's one today as well. And there are going to be programs throughout this month on different aspects of the law. On the 26th, for instance, of this month, I'm going to be moderating a panel discussion on tenancy laws. Tenancy laws are something that can affect a large number of people as landlords or as tenants. And so we want to see what are the new ideas that one can put forth to the government to see how the law can change to be up to date with the times. In fact, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani is also going to be one of the panelists on that day. He's not a lawyer, but he knows so much about the law because he deals with real estate. So do listen to all these programs. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. You'll learn from them. They'll give you a perspective on life. They'll show you, they'll showcase to you the different opportunities that you have. And you will hear from Dr. Santi Datsi's lecture and from all the programs that your college is organizing. And eventually, you must decide what is best suited for yourself. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Ravneet. I'll just
yes,
tender my apologies on behalf of what happened during this, sir.
No, don't worry about that.
At the same time, let me tell you, sir, you have been just like Lord Krishna, guided us students on a law subject. I know HSN University is proud to have 3 law colleges in all 3 campuses. The KC Law College, the G.J. Advani Law College, and Nari Gosani Law College. So it is rather a proud privilege that you are heading the board with that direction, that law everybody should know. And it's always better that one should know the law. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I think a lawyer's responsibility is indeed huge as they take on other people's problems and try to find solutions for them. Thank you so much for joining us today and giving your valuable insights and motivating us with your kind words. It's always a pleasure to have you amongst us. May I now request Vice Principal, Junior College, Mrs. Roma Wagh, to introduce the guest of honor and resource person for the afternoon today. Over to you, Roma ma'am. Roma ma'am, can you hear me? Are you with us? Yeah, Roma ma'am, you have to, you're not unmuting yourself. Yeah, ma'am, you have to unmute yourself. Yeah, you just did it a few seconds back.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to this session of MMK College in the Disha series. Now, I would like to introduce our guest of honor and our resource person for the afternoon, Dr. Shanti Dasari. Dr. Shanti Dasari is the IC Principal of G.J. Advani Law College, Bandra. We are very fortunate to have you here with us today. And I would just like to go through her profile and let you know how fortunate we are to have such an eminent personality among us. Dr. Dasari has done her BSc Home Science and LLB from Nagarjuna University, Andhra Pradesh, and has obtained a first class. She pursued her LLB from Osmania University with distinction. She is a double gold medalist in LLM. She has a postgraduate degree in diploma in personal management from Annamalai University. She has done her PhD in security law from Bharat Vidyapeeth University, Pune. Madam has been selected as a Class 1 officer in Andhra Pradesh State Civil Services and worked as a deputy chief in University Employment Bureau for a period of 5 years. She has joined as manager personnel and legal in OTCT Stock Exchange for 1.5 years. In the year 2000, she joined our KC College as assistant professor, and in 3 months, she was transferred to GJ Advani Law College, Bandra. She has elevated from the associate professor in the year 2016, and today she heads the Law College as IC principal. With her enriched experience of 19 years, she has presented and published several research papers in international and national conferences and journals. Awarded as the best professor by Devang Mehta Foundation and 21st Business School Affair National Award in 2016, these two awards add feathers to her crown. She has also been felicitated by the Lions Club in 2019 as an Outstanding Teacher Award. We at LMMK welcome you, madam, to our session, and it gives me a lot of proud. I'm very, very proud and honored to have you here with us in the Disha series. I welcome you, and today for this afternoon, our session is going to be taken by Dr. Shanti Desari, and she is going to show us an insight as to how we can go into the law profession, how we can go into the civil service examinations, and with her experience, all my students are going to benefit with it. Welcome, ma'am, to this session. Over to you, Ravneet.
Shall I continue?
Yeah. Ravneet?
Yeah, uh, I think we can invite our resource person to address the audience and to start with the technical session.
Yeah. Thank you, Ravneet, for this wonderful opportunity given to me to give an insight how to enter into the law degree program, whether it is 5 years or 3 years. So, sir has actually taken a lot of burden of mine, and he explained the noble profession of law, how to conduct and how you have to carry out your profession in well well conducted manner. And now actually I respected Anil Harish sir is my mentor, I can say. He guides us, he motivates us, he inspires us to conduct various programs in our law college, and we always look at Anil Harish sir for guidance from the law perspective. In any manner we need guidance. And thank you, Peshori sir. I must congratulate you for this wonderful program to initiate and guide your students to select their careers. That is a wonderful idea. But as an employment officer, I would like to share here, when I was working as an employment officer, I used to do that function as well, not only showing to the prospective candidates. We used to go to colleges, we used to go to schools, we used to give guidance, career guidance at that stage itself. So now I think as colleges, you people have taken up that job. That's really wonderful. I must congratulate you for starting this program. So, and I'm proud of Roma. Roma was my student in law, And Roma, when she contacted, I said, Roma, she contacted me, Madam, who can guide about how to enter into law faculty? I said, why don't you call me as resource person? She said, that's wonderful, madam. If you're coming, there is nothing like that. And I must also share my what you say, like owes to Mani Iyer sir. We are always in touch with each other in various activities of the college, and he's our unfair means committee member, which is maybe a quasi legal function, you can say. When the students adopt unfair means, we call him in the committee to decide whether they adopted or not based on the evidence produced in front of the committee. So, in fact, it's a wonderful feeling to talk to the students always. Maybe these are young students compared to the students which we interact every day, because we get the students from different areas, like from chartered, we have students like chartered accountants, we have fresh graduates, and we have engineers, we have doctors who come and take law as the study after their courses. Or maybe after, sometimes we get senior citizens, after the retirement, they take up this course. Why all these people are going for law? Why they wanted to do law? Especially 3 years law they go for, generally, when we talk about either chartered accountants or otherwise company secretaries or otherwise engineers or doctors. Because law is the integral part of our life. It is without knowing law, you can't lead your life in comfortable way. So you are supposed to know the law of your land. And if you violate any of the laws of the land, you will be responsible for that violation. So everyone has to understand the law of the land and has to follow the laws of the land. That is why there is a need for you to enter into to do a law course. I am not actually forcing you or maybe showing you this is the only one. If you are interested, you can take up this particular course. So can we go for the PPT? Can we share the PPT? Whatever is being done.
Yes, ma'am. Just give us a few seconds.
So, law as a career option. So why you have to choose law as career option? As I told you, law is the integral part of the law is the integral part of your life, and you can lead comfortably your life when you don't violate any laws and when you know your rights, and you can lead a better life than a layman. So that is why you need to choose law as your career path. And can we go to the next slide? Next slide, please. Yeah. Who is this man? Can any one of you, can any of you recognize who is this man?
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, he is a lawyer. You know that? So what he said is, if you are resolutely determined to make a lawyer of yourself, that means you want to become a lawyer, the thing is more than half done already. That means you are half the way of becoming a lawyer. So if you are determined to become a lawyer and if you are going in that path, you are already half lawyer. That's what he said. And here I would like to mention one thing, that is, most of the world leaders, right from India to abroad, US, UK, most of the world leaders are lawyers, most of them. If you take right from Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, our own draftsman of the Constitution, the great B.R. Ambedkar, and also if you go abroad, Abraham Lincoln, and Clinton, Barack Obama, and if you come to London, Margaret Thatcher, all these people are the lawyers basically. Why? What is the advantage of becoming a lawyer and becoming a leader? Because they develop the analytical skills. They themselves, they understand logically to think and analyze a situation. So they have that advantage. So they learn while doing the course or maybe while practicing, they learn how to analyze the situation, analyze the things. So they have that advantage, and obviously they are the leaders. They have good communication skills, right? They will be talking to people, they will be talking to clients, they will be talking to judges, they will be presenting the clients' cases. They develop that good communication skills. So they can speak to people, they can influence the people with their speeches. So that impact will have an advantage for them. So they become the leaders. That is why. So most of the world leaders, if you see, half of them are lawyers. And in current generation also, if you see in India, Sushma Swaraj, she was the lawyer, and Arun Jaitley, late Arun Jaitley, he was the lawyer. Kapil Sibal, he's lawyer, and Manu Sheikh Abhisingh, he is the lawyer. So all these are lawyers. So they when you are seeing the shows on the TV, you will get impressed the way they are presenting the situation there, the way they are presenting their points. So that is the advantage of becoming a lawyer. So that's why you can choose law as an option, and that's what is happening now. I'm seeing at one point of time when I was the student, only the students, fresh graduates or maybe freshers used to take law as a career path. But now engineers, doctors, even doctors have to face consumer cases. That's why how to deal with those situations, they are opting for taking law course. And engineers, they are entering, they are dealing with several contracts, so they are opting for doing a law course. And of course teachers also doing, because they are also facing a lot of problems, right from regulators and from students. So they are also doing, they are also interested to know their rights, their duties, and if at all any action, legal action is to be faced by them, how to deal with it. So everybody is now towards law. They are looking at law and taking law course, so that they'll become a lawyer and they will be well informed about their rights, about their duties, so that they can lead better life. That's why doing law is always an advantage. Coming to the next, how to enter into law course and who can do. So why to choose law as a career and who can choose? I told you a bit, and there are plethora of career opportunities when you do, because you are youngsters, you need careers. So there are plethora of career avenues for students to explore and conquer. As sir already told you, previously there used to be only civil and criminal. Now a lot many specializations have emerged over a period of time. So you can adopt any kind of path and you can flourish and you can make your career in that particular way. And personal benefit, you have a personal benefit. That's what I said. It improves your overall logical thinking and thereby you may lead a better life. And you know your rights, you know your duties, and you know your not only your rights, you know the others' rights. You start respecting the other rights, and you know, when you know the rights and you have duties, you know that means the other person also has duties to respect your rights. So all these aspects you will be understanding when you study law. When I tell study law seriously, not for taking a paper degree. Okay, and who may choose this particular course? I don't say that these are the limited people who can choose, but generally with proficiency in communication and who has keen and logical reasoning power mentally, and who have analytical skills and capacity to read and research better. So they can choose, because law, as sir already told you, you have to read the laws, changing laws, and the judgments given by the courts. So you have to read a lot and also research. You have to develop those research skills to present your case in a better manner, and to argue your case, and to get a favorable decision for your client. So all these are important for a lawyer to be. But not only these people, the silent people, maybe they don't have good communication skills, but still they can also choose, because they can do chamber practices. So they need not go to court. They can do drafting if you have good writing skills. So you can do draft the planes, draft the documents, and you can choose it as a career path. Like that means generally we say that as chamber practice. So that also you can do. But if you have good communication, when I said communication, I'm not limiting it only oral communication. It is even written communication. That's why even if you don't have oral communication, if you have good written communication, you can adopt for, may not be court practice, but for chamber practice. Can we go to next slide? Next slide, please. Yeah, how to secure admission. So please remember that there will be an entrance exam to be cleared to gain the admission, either into a 3-year course or into a 5-year course. So if you want to go into national law schools, please remember that national law schools have 5 years courses, no 3 years course they offer. So immediately after your 12th, you can choose National Law School admissions. For that, you have to write the exam of CLAT, that is a common law admission test. Generally, all the national law schools in the country together conduct this, and as per the choices of the students and as per the merit, they conduct the admissions. But NLU Delhi, that is National Law University Delhi, conducts separately for their admissions, that is AILET, okay, All India Law Entrance Test. They separately conduct, and based on the scores, they conduct their admissions. That is after 12. Okay, and some colleges, some institutes like even IITs, they have law schools, IIT Kharagpur's law schools, even IIT Bombay, sometimes they offer some law courses, that is specialized law courses. And in private universities, you can say Symbiosis Law School, OP Jindal Global University, and Law School. All these law schools generally take either CLAT scores or otherwise LSAT scores. LSAT is also one kind of admission test, that is law school admission test. So usually this test is being conducted for the admissions in universities abroad, but maybe some of these universities like Jindal Global School, MIT Law School, Symbiosis, LMIMS, they may consider also while giving seats to the students. And in Maharashtra, if you want to go, if you cannot secure an admission in national law schools because it is very competitive exam, so if you cannot secure, but we have normal law colleges, like some aided law colleges, some law colleges. So Maharashtra state conducts CET cell, Maharashtra state CET cell conducts common entrance test to secure admission in the law colleges of Maharashtra, both for 5 years law course as well as the 3 years law course. So after passing the entrance test, as per the merit and as per the schools, allotting the seats to the particular college, and you can take the admission in that particular college. And when we talk about, as I already mentioned, there are 2 kinds of courses. 5-year law course, generally that is nomenclated. That means that is known as BLS LLB or otherwise BBA LLB. And 3 years law course, that is just LLB. So after your graduation, you will be entering into 3 years law course. But please remember that for both the courses, you have to give entrance exam. Without entrance exam, generally they don't take admissions. They don't conduct admissions. Even if it is a private university, they conduct sometimes their own entrance test. You have to pass entrance test. Without entrance test, generally no law school will take any student as any candidate as a student of its school. Can we go to next? Yeah, coming to the syllabus of 5 years law course, I'm talking only about Maharashtra law colleges and that law colleges, not national law schools. Because national law school, every national law school can design its own course, and it can have uh, adopt its own subjects. So national law schools have that liberty. So every national law school may be having a different syllabus, but whereas in Maharashtra and 5 year law course and especially Mumbai University affiliated colleges will have these subjects as in their syllabus. One is English, and second is economics and logic. Logic is a compulsory subject. Please remember that, because as I told you, a lawyer needs a logical thinking and reasoning. So logic is one subject which is part of the syllabus of 5 year law. And then history, political science. When you talk about history, generally it will be legal history and constitutional history, not general history. And political science, mostly about constitution and related subjects. Legal writing and legal language. See, legal language is completely different from normal English language. So you should know the legal terminology to understand the particular section or provision of law. So that is why legal writing and legal language is very important. Legal writing will help you to draft your legal documents. That's why legal writing and legal language is one subject which is offered. And then political science, sociology, again history of courts, so how courts in India emerged. So all that, all those are the subjects, and then English 2 and logic 2, all these subjects will be there in the first 2 years of 5 year law course. But when even if you take 5 year law course, from third year onwards, you will have subjects which are equivalent to your 3 year law course. So almost all the subjects will remain same, just like in case of 3 year law course from third year onwards in 5 year law course. So coming to now the subjects in 3 year law course. Can we go to next slide, please? Yeah. So first year, the subjects will be labor laws. So laws relating to the labor. That means labor means not manual labor alone, but also usually these are related to industries. Okay, maybe Industrial Disputes Act, Factories Act, Workmen's Compensation Act, Minimum Wages Act. These are the laws which usually labor laws cover, and also contracts. And maybe commerce students, if they are there, they must be knowing a bit about contract, because business law covers part of it. So contract, but at length, not in a very, very elaborative manner. Contract 1, that is only general principles of contract. It will cover, that means essentials of contract, what are the requisites of contract. And then the next subject will be torts and consumer protection. Okay, so torts means a civil wrong, either negligence or otherwise a kind of, you can say, defamation. These are the, defamation means defaming someone. So by saying the words or by writing. So those are the rights, and also it includes consumer protection laws. So when you buy something, what are your rights? So how your rights can be protected. So it covers that particular part. And again, legal language, including legal writing and general English, will be there in the 3 year law course. So those who have completed already that subject, they will have an advantage here. And there will be one extra subject, that is practical training 1, as per the new syllabus. This is 60-40 pattern. So there will be one subject of practical training, which talks about advocacy, the skills, the art of cross-examination. All those aspects will be covered in practical training 1, and also contempt of court laws. Everything will be covered under practical training 1. And coming to semester 2 subjects, those are law of crimes. So, which is a very interesting subject. In fact, Sir was also talking about some murder case. So, law of crimes is a very interesting subject, and all interesting subjects you will find in semester 2. That is constitutional law, which is the mother of all the laws. Any law which is in contradiction with the constitutional law is considered to be void. That means it is not valid at all. You cannot enforce that particular law. So, constitutional law is the mother of the laws. And Anil Hari sir was referring about preamble of the constitutional law. So constitutional law you will be studying, and also family law. So family law will be dealing with the matters of family issues like marriage, divorce, succession, how you will get your property. And when you deal with family law, Hindu law, Muslim law, Parsi law, so Christian law and Succession Act, everything is covered under family law one. And then environmental law. So environmental law is very important in the current situation. Lot of pollution we are facing, and we other day Arvind Kejriwal is saying the increase in the COVID cases in Delhi is because of environment pollution. In the pollution levels in the Delhi region is high. That's why COVID cases and COVID deaths are more. So you need to know environmental law. What are the laws? Maybe soil pollution, air pollution, water pollution, everything are covered under laws relating to all these aspects are covered under environmental law, including Wildlife Act. So many environmental, even your CRZs, everything is covered under environmental law. And there will be one more subject, that is practical oriented subject, that is drafting, pleading and conveyancing. One, that is first part of drafting, pleading, conveyance, simple deeds like how to write a will, how to write a deed, kind of things. It's simple at entry level, there will be simple things. And coming to the second year, that is semester 3, that is first subject is administrative law. And administrative law deals with how an executive has to function. That is, there are 3 wings in the of the state. First is legislature, and second is executive, and third is judiciary. So how an executive has to function, and how the judiciary controls the executive if it violates any of the constitutional functionalities. So administrative law deals with that particular very important law, that is also. And then family law too, again, it is a second part of family law. That is, it deals with elaboratively about Hindu law, the marriage, divorce, maintenance, all those aspects, and also adoption, guardianship act, and succession, again, Hindu succession especially. And coming to next one is the transfer of property law. So when you are selling a certain property, and how when you are mortgaging, when you are either leasing, everything, or leave and license, all these are coming under this particular subject. And also easements. So your right to light, right to air, right to water, right of way, all these are considered as easements. So that is related to transfer property, which is related to enjoyment of your property. That's why it is under the transfer property law. And last one is company law. So it's a very important subject. Again, you must, maybe commerce subject students must have studied company law, maybe going to study company law a little bit, but here you will be studying in a very, very elaborative manner, at length, in a very comprehensive way. So can we go to next slide, please? Yeah. Coming to semester 4, that is on the second year, so second part, jurisprudence, that is nothing but legal theory. So jurisprudence is how the law emanated, what are the schools of law. So different jurists think law in a different way. So you will be studying that, and the concept of ownership, the concept of how there are, when you talk about law is of 2 types. One is the passed by the legislature, that is the parliament, and second is judge-made law. So when judges deliver judgments, that is also a law. So we talk about precedents, that means the previous decisions given by the higher court, that is the apex court, Supreme Court, is considered as law. And possession, if you possess a property for a particular period of time, then property becomes yours if nobody objects for your rights. So all those aspects are covered under jurisprudence. And coming to contract 2, you must, again, commerce students must have studied a bit about contract 2. So it covers your Sale of Goods Act. So when the goods are sold, what are the rights of the buyer, what are the rights of the seller, how the property process when the goods are being sold. And also certain second part of the contract after general principles of contract, that is indemnity, guarantee, bailment, and pledge agency, and also partnership act. So contract 2 is generally bifurcated into these three. And coming to land laws covers almost 11 enactments of the Maharashtra, which are existing in the Maharashtra area, and also central laws, some central laws you will be studying. And coming to the fourth subject, it is an optional subject. In fact, you can choose any of these three. One is criminology, which is mostly related to crimes. Why a crime is committed? What is the mindset of the criminal? And white collar crime, why it is committed? And juvenile delinquency, why a child commits a crime? And or otherwise you can take taxation as the optional subject, which covers your income tax, direct tax, indirect tax, and every aspect. And now very emerging law is bankruptcy, that is insolvency and bankruptcy. So after the recent insolvency and bankruptcy code, the lawyers are minting money on this particular, when they are actually expertising on this particular subject. So bankruptcy also many students are choosing nowadays. So bankruptcy is the other option. So you can choose from these three any one of it. And next subject is again drafting, pleading, conveyancing 2. That means a little elaboratively you will be understanding the drafting of the documents and how you will be pleading and how you will be conveying the documents. And coming to the final year, that is the last year of your course, you will be dealing with the civil procedure code, that is the civil laws, and how the procedural aspects will be dealt under the in case of civil matters. So that is what the civil procedure code deals with. And in the same way, criminal procedure code, how the criminal matters are dealt with. And this is a very important subject, interpretation of statutes. So that means how a law is interpreted, whether it is strictly interpreted or you can take two meanings of a particular word. That is what is called interpretation of statutes. So very important subject when you start practicing, when you start researching, when you start writing your documents. This is a very important subject. And then a next subject is international law and human rights. So international law is about the global law, you can say. International law, when the treaties between two countries happen, or otherwise when a crime is committed in one state and the criminal runs away, and how to get that criminal back, extradition, and so many aspects like asylum, refugee law, everything is covered. And also human rights. So human rights generally is considered as international law, which is again adopted by every state under the international conventions. So human rights of a particular individual in a particular domestic country. And coming to next one is practical training 3. So in practical training 3, you will be dealing with moot courts. That means a problem will be given to you. So you will have to argue either as a plaintiff or as a defendant, or otherwise as an appellant or respondent, or otherwise on accused side, that means prosecution side, or maybe from the state side, or otherwise the defendant side, whatever it is. So you will be understanding that, and also the practical aspects will be dealt under practical training 3. And coming to semester 6, that is the last semester of your course, either 5 years or 3 years. That is first is alternate dispute resolution, so which is very much in vogue right now. Now people are fed up with litigation. They are going to court, and the litigation is continuing for years. So alternate dispute resolution, that means settling the matters outside the court with the permission of the court, sometimes maybe without going to the court. So many of the chamber practitioners are doing this, even the retired judges and some people who wanted to do, and even litigation lawyers side by side, they may be doing this particular practice also, which is very much in uh, which in demand right now. And you will be dealing with law of evidence and also Juvenile Justice Act. So law of evidence is very important when you speak about the procedure and conducting a trial, how an evidence is to be adduced, and whether it is admissible in the court or whether not admissible, whether it is a confession in a crime, all these things, and the dying declarations, all these are considered uh, uh, as part of this particular subject. And then intellectual property rights, law relating to women and child, land, medicine, conflict of laws, banking laws and negotiable instruments, law of insurance. These are all optional subjects in your semester 6. Out of these 6 subjects, you can choose 2. Okay, so IPR is, patents, copyrights, and trademarks. So this is also a very interesting subject and very much useful right now. And law relating to women and child, it's very general subject. What are the laws relating to women, sexual offences, dowry, sati, and also children, child labor prevention act. All these are covered. Law and medicine, generally medical negligence and what are the remedies available. All those aspects are covered. And conflict of laws, generally about the international law. Again, it is public international law. So banking laws, you must be knowing banking RBI Act and the Banking Regulation Act. And negotiable instruments, most of the law commerce students must be knowing about the Negotiable Instruments Act, what is check, what is DD, and what is a negotiable instrument, in fact, which can be negotiated. And law of insurance, again, is very important subject, very much is in demand right now. So because of privatization of insurance sector, so insurance laws, who is an insurer, who is uninsured, what is the insurable interest, who can insure, fire insurance, marine insurance, all these life insurance, accident, so many kinds of insurance aspects are developed right now. So it is also very much in demand. And coming to the last paper, that is drafting, pleading and conveyancing, that is 3. That means the last part of it, how to write, all kinds of deeds are covered under this particular subject. So coming to the career paths after completion, these are briefly about the subjects which you will be studying in your law course. Coming to the career options. So when you talk about career options, you can choose to go towards the litigation side. As I told you, litigation means you will be going to court and arguing your cases in front of the judges, and obviously cross-examination, examination in chief, and all these aspects will be there, and you will be arguing. It's for some people it's very interesting to argue the cases, and you will develop a lot of communication skills while you start practicing, and also analyzing it and presenting it and anticipating from the other side what kind of the developments may take place, what kind of questions may arise, and keeping yourself ready for the course of action. So all this is important when you deal with litigation. When you deal with litigation, as sir already told you, criminal and civil litigation. When you talk about criminal, don't think only IPC, murder, or otherwise you will be injuring someone, then there will be an action. There are so many criminal violations, you can say, under tax laws, under company law, under securities laws, under even personal laws like Sati Prohibition Act, Dowry Prohibition Act. So many laws are there which are considered to be crimes, wherein either the punishments will be imprisonment, fine, or otherwise other kind of penalties like forfeiture of property. So many aspects will be there. So that is about criminal side. And coming to civil side, when you talk, can we go to next slide, please? Next slide, please. When you, next slide, please. Next, please. Yeah. Okay, so when you see generally the civil side also, as I told you, so many areas are developed. That is normally like contracts, insurance, the IB, that is insolvency, bankruptcy, so many property laws. All property laws mostly are civil laws because it is personal injury. It is an injury to the personal right of the person. So those are considered to be civil litigations. And coming to career options in companies. So if you want to, nowadays, most of the students which we come across as a principal, madam, I wanted to go to corporate side. So when you go to corporate side, so what are the career options? You can go to as a corporate counsel. So when you say corporate, lawyers handle all transactions on behalf of the companies. So there will be a legal department in the company. You will be part of that, and as part of the legal department, you will be negotiating the contracts and you will be drafting the contracts. Sometimes you will, when the contract which is drafted by someone comes to you, you will be correcting the contract in favor of your company, and you will be facilitating mergers and acquisitions when your company wanted to acquire some other company, and when your company wanted to merge with some other company, you will be facilitating, you will be actually dealing with all the procedural aspects, and also you will be dealing, when you talk about corporate, I should say here there are two parts. Previously they used to consider legal and compliance as one single area, which in corporate sector it will be. But recently there is a lot of development in this part also. Legal is different from compliance. So that is what here, when you talk about here, ensuring compliance of regulations. So even before any contract is entered, whether that contract is complying all the regulations and rules and laws of the land or not. So that is being taken care of by the compliance department. So generally the lawyers can do, though they sometimes they recruit the non-lawyers, but generally the lawyers can do better job in compliance function because they know the laws of the land. And some part of it may be filing patents of like pharmaceutical companies or maybe some engineering companies, some technology companies, like maybe nowadays technology companies are so many, like Tata Consultancy Services, Infosys, filing patents you will be doing, and also advising the top managerial personnel in policy making. So that is a very important function because the policies of the company should be in consonance with the laws of the land. So if they are violating any of the law, it is your duty to advise them, no, this is violation of this particular law, you shouldn't do it. So we can make it in a better manner in this way. So you are advising them in policy making. Okay, and you yourself sometimes making certain policies, for example, compliance policy. Okay, you may be making a compliance policy for your company. So that is what is the career option you have in companies. Can we go to next slide, please? Yeah, here career options in judicial. So if you want to go to judiciary side, so what are the career options? There are exams at entry level if you want to become a municipal magistrate or maybe a judge at a lower level. Okay, so that is called the JMFC exam. Okay, so judicial magistrate exam. So these exams are generally they need 3 years of practicing experience. So, but some states are saying that even if you are fresher and if you are enrolled, then that is enough for us, and we can you can compete. They are saying, but generally 3 years practicing experience they require. And apart from that, you can, while studying itself, you can go for judicial clerkship. So apart from your internships, so when you are studying, after your when you in 5-year law course, after entering into your 3rd year or maybe 4th year, or maybe in 3-year law course after in the 2nd semester of your 1st year or maybe 2nd year, you can start interning with the law firms, so that you will get on-hand experience, practically what to do, what not to do, and how to go with your cases. Whether you want to, you can choose then whether you want to go for a litigation side, you are comfortable with the litigation side, or whether you want to go to a corporate side and you want to enter into a company. or you want to just do chamber practice and draft the agreements and draft the contracts, or otherwise draft the leave and license documents or draft the wills. All these are different areas which any area you can select and you can concentrate. Okay, so but judicial clerkship is one exam. Now, previously they used to take this is a judicial clerkship is a position which is associated with uh, you will be assisting the judge. Okay, you will be conducting the research and assisting the judge. You will be helping the judge to arrive at a decision, or maybe they are arriving, but you will be helping him by providing the proper material to arrive at a decision. So that is a wonderful opportunity for the for any law student. So you can write this exam. Now previously they used to take only national law school students. Then somebody challenged it, saying that why this discrimination. Now they are conducting nationwide exam for a judicial clerkship. So you can write that exam and you can work as a judicial clerk with a Supreme Court judge. So that is a wonderful experience you will get, and you can sit with the judge and you can hear so many variety of cases, and you can learn experience. You can learn so many aspects, so many intricacies of law, and also you can understand, research, and help the judge. So that is what happens when this exam is only to enter as a judicial clerk to the Supreme Court, but high courts generally, high court judges, they take, if you apply and they take a small interview of you, and if you are suitable, then the judges, high court judges may take you as a judicial clerk for 1 month, 2 months, like that. So that is a judicial clerkship exam towards judiciary side if you want to go for. But even after doing judicial clerkship, if you are not inclined to go for judiciary side, you can start your practice, come back and start your practice. But it is very easy for you to clear this JMFC exam after this, after doing the clerkship with judiciary. Yeah, can we go to next slide, please? Next slide, please. Yeah, career options in other areas. So one is legal processing outsourcing. You must have heard, like BPOs, okay, LPOs. That is legal processing outsourcing. So what these people do, the law graduates of this country may be helping the overseas clients by document review, by giving support, legal support to them, and contract vetting. All these works they'll be doing, and they'll be paid good in even when you start working in LPOs. And coming to the next one is academia. So this, like me, you can teach. If you are not interested in any of these things, you can dispense your knowledge to the students and obtain the satisfaction. For this also you need mastery of the laws, because you have to teach that particular subject. So you need to have a master's degree with the national eligibility test or otherwise state eligibility test clearance. And nowadays, under the 7th pay scale recommendations, they are suggesting to have a PhD also. So that is what, if you want to go towards academic side, you is required to have. So that means you need to do LLM, that is Masters in Law, after your LLB, or maybe BLS LLB 5-year course, whatever it is. And then you need to clear this national eligibility test or state eligibility test for teaching. And you need to have a Doctor of Philosophy degree. And apart from these, you can do even social work. You may be wondering, how can I do social work? You can do a lot of social work by entering into NGOs. So there are so many non-governmental organizations which are working in different areas, like child rights and maybe rehabilitation of the juvenile delinquents. That means you can say like a child in conflict with law. And also there are so many NGOs who are working for the environment. There are so many NGOs who are working for the civil liberties. That means the individual rights of the persons. And NGOs which are working for women's rights. And all these aspects, and also human rights, of course, at the end of the day. So I know you can go at this when you may be wondering what social work or why we have to do when not much. They are paying, NGOs are paying even when you are advising them in this particular functioning. And I know one student who worked good in human rights area while she was doing LLB. She was taken into United Nations as the first on intern basis, and later on she was absorbed. So you can go to international level also. Now everything is globalized. So you may be doing globalized work when you become a lawyer. So you must be knowing about that Harish Salve arguing the case of that Pak in Pakistan. Our one soldier was imprisoned. He went to international court and he got a favorable order in favor of him. So you can do that kind of work as well. For that, he charged only 1 rupee as the fee when he was pleading his case. So of course he earned a lot. That's why he must be doing. But when you reach that level, you can also do such kind of social work. And coming to next slide, please. Yeah. And other areas are like Union Public Service Commission. So just like any graduate, you can also compete after obtaining your law degree. You can attempt an exam which is conducted by UPSC or your MPSC state level exam. Okay, and then what is the advantage of being a law graduate and attempting this exam? As I told you, you will develop a lot of analytical skills, and you will develop a lot of logical skills. And if you see the preliminary exam in UPSC, most of the questions are based on your analytical ability and logical skills. So apart from your general knowledge, of course, and I say always to my students that a lawyer should have a good general knowledge. He should have overall knowledge about all the subjects, including geography, science, and everything. So when you do your law, that is an advantage. In fact, I got benefited a lot because I myself attempted that exam and I cleared it in first attempt. So you also can do that, and you can enter into either a IAS, IFS, that is Foreign Services, Indian Police Service, Indian Revenue Service, like those kind of exams. Apart from that, UPSC also conducts exams for positions in legislative drafting departments of central government. That means when Parliament makes a law, so somebody has to make that law and give them, right? Then only the law will get passed. So they will be doing the drafting work of that legislation. That's a wonderful job which you can opt for. That again, UPSC conducts exams to take the experts or maybe take the people who are having a certain expertise in that particular legislative drafting. And also you can act as legal advisors in regulatory bodies such as RBI, SEBI. These are the regulatory bodies, Competition Commission, Serious Frauds Investigation Office. All these are central government organizations, but which have the legal experts and legal departments, and you can advise them in enforcing the regulations in a better manner, and you will be prosecuting the violators. And that also is very exciting opportunity for you. And of course, all banks have legal departments. If you see any bank, they have legal department, and they take specialized positions for who has legal expertise. That means they usually ask for a law graduate, and also sometimes they may be asking for 3 years experience, because on-hand experience they require. Or otherwise, sometimes they say simply legal associate, then you can enter into and gain experience, and then you will be absorbed as the maybe a grade 1 officer, grade A officer, grade B officer, like that. So you can enter into banks also, banks, legal departments after completion of your law. So can we go to next, please? Yeah. So this is a very, very important aspect when you merge law and other specializations. As I told you before, you can merge law with any specialization. Okay. in today's world, there is nothing like a concrete bifurcation and neat and distinct bifurcation which you can make differentiate between law and other areas. So law is everywhere in every field. Okay, when you talk about science, there are patents, when you talk about media, yes, there are media laws. You can say that when you talk about a small, you can say small composition like a song, a small note, everything is a copyright issue. Everything is a copyright violation. Sometimes you may be innovating a new note and you can patent it. And also you can maybe innovating in science or something and physics or something and you can patent it. So everywhere law is important and everywhere law is required. So you cannot separate law from any other kind of specialization. That's why I told you in the beginning only, my students are comprising of doctors, senior doctors, engineers, company secretaries, chartered accountants, and everyone. They wanted to know even economics. Everybody wants to. When you talk about economics, I will give you an example. Especially when I was doing my research on securities laws, my specialization on insider trading law. So it is basically when I was dealing with a lot of material on the insider trading law, I found that lot many economists did research on this particular subject rather than the lawyers, which is I wondered really, what is this? Why it is an economic subject? Of course, it is economic subject because it is affecting when an insider trading violation happens. It affects the nation's economy, sometimes global economy, if it is in a large scale, if it happens. So that's why it is an economic subject. So, of course, if you see the Securities Exchange Board of India and Securities Exchange Commission in US, especially Securities Exchange Commission in US, they take only lawyers. They don't take any other specialization people. They take only lawyers as their staff to regulate the stock markets. But whereas in India, of course, they take mostly economics people and also some engineers and other area, even MBAs and all. Of course, they prefer the lawyers. And most of my students, I have seen over the years, at least 50 to 60 SEBI officials graduating from our college. Okay, so everybody needs law to know when they are working in a specific area, the law relating to that particular area. Okay, so that is all is about the law and other specializations. Can we go to next slide, please? Next slide, please. That's it. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your patient listening. And if you want to choose law, you can choose law. Otherwise, you can take your own reasoned decision. Thanks a lot. And I thank once again Kishore Kashori sir for giving me this opportunity to present. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shanti ma'am. It was indeed a very effective session, and I'm sure our students are brimming with questions.
Yeah. We'll proceed with question answer session now.
Yes. So can I please take the first question, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. So one of our students has, asked that you were talking about chamber practice,
yes,
and wherein the individual needs to draft documents and, draft various documents for the clients.
Yes.
So the student wants to know that will I be meeting clients face to face, or I will be only working behind the scenes?
Yeah, you will be meeting the clients, of course. Okay, you will be meeting clients and you will be meeting, knowing the needs of the client. When you, for example, I say leave and license agreement. That is not a litigation. You need not go to court, right? Leave and license agreement, you are drafting. That's it. But you have to meet your client. What are his conditions? What conditions he wants to put forth there? Sometimes, for example, I'll say that I enter into an agreement. There will be a lock-in period. That means during that lock-in period of 9 months or 6 months, you cannot vacate the place. So that term, your client may be comfortable or uncomfortable. So accordingly, you will be drafting that particular agreement. So that for that you need to meet your client, and you should know your client's needs, and accordingly you have to draft the document. So you need to meet the client, but sometimes when you are maybe working in a law firm, you may need not meet the client, but your maybe senior may be meeting and he will be telling you or informing you, these are the terms and conditions my client needs to put in the documents. So you please draft accordingly. Otherwise, if you are doing independently, individually, of course, you have to meet, if there is a need to meet the client. Hope that satisfies.
Yes. All right. The next question. For freshers, is it better to join a big law firm or intern with a lawyer?
It's up to you. Like, see, if you want to make a name, take the name of a big law firm in your CV, you can go to a big law firm and intern it. And if you don't want that, you want to know only the practice, how to do, what are the procedures to be followed, how to draft the deeds, then you can choose a independent lawyer also. That is up to you. Like that depends upon your interest. Sometimes after entering also, you may feel that, oh, I don't want this. Then you can come out and you can intern with other law firm or other persons. That is again depending upon your experience with a particular individual or particular law firm. That cannot be clearly demarcated like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Next question, ma'am. Do the arts and commerce students, do they have an edge over the students from other streams, as most of the subjects in the first 2 years of the 5-year law course are primarily humanities or commerce related?
Yeah. So shall I tell you one thing? I'm a science student.
Yeah.
I was a science student. I did
That's why I took up this question. You're the best to answer this.
Home science, that too. Not even normal science I did. BSc home science I did. Okay. And even I was very skeptical when I was writing. Mine was the first.
Can everybody please mute themselves? I can hear a lot of noises. I'm sorry, it's very disturbing for us. Can we please request everybody to mute themselves? Sorry, Santi ma'am, you can.
No, it's okay. So when I have given my first I am talking about 30 years before, when I have entered into the law course, mine was the first batch of law entrance exam 30 years before in state of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, of course, in Maharashtra it started in 2016, but it was that time. I was very skeptical. We were only 2 girls used to be in 80 member class. And but still, I was a science student.
Yeah.
Okay. But I topped. That time also in LLB, I topped. But unfortunately, I could not get my gold medals in 3rd year because of some medical issue. But I topped that time also. So science, arts, commerce doesn't make any difference ultimately. Right. How much of work, hard work you are doing, how much analytically you are thinking, how much logically you are putting your answers, and how much expertise you gained, how much knowledge you gained, that actually matters. Right. And with law as optional, I have cleared my competitive exam also, even APPSC exam, that is a Public Service Commission exam, because nobody dares to take law as optional. All my colleague students, they said, no, don't take law, it's very broad because so many laws you have to study, better take political science, better take public administration. But you can, when you have confidence, you can attempt even Public Service Commission exam because you have that in-depth knowledge on the law. Correct. So it's not a constraint at all.
And I think it's also, you should be fond of going through all the documents.
And passion.
Yes, that passion.
We used to spend almost, nowadays I'm finding, unfortunately, students spending very little time in the libraries.
Absolutely.
Okay, and they are mostly on the, of course, information is available on the internet, but it is very conflicting, like most of the times the laws, unless and until you take the original law like in PDF format or legislation, whatever is published in the Gazette. Remaining are like mostly opinion expressions. That's why there is a cup on my table always. Don't get Google knowledge into that.
Correct. Absolutely.
So absolutely, because everybody expresses their own opinions. Like I look at particular line from one angle and other may be looking at it in a different angle. So they write it, and most of the times the students get carried away rather than the original form of it. So that you shouldn't go for it. So we used to spend half of the day in the libraries, in fact, researching. So that research, when you do it, of course, you will understand it. You need not study too much also. Once you make your own research and make your own gist of the note, that's more than enough.
But I've also, as a layman, as a person who doesn't understand obviously law too much, I would always think that, as more and more time goes by, and as you said in your talk, that a precedent is set. So when a precedent is set means more laws are made. And so the number of documents that, the lawyers need to sieve through, that is increasing day by day.
Yeah.
So
It's always.
Absolutely.
Because you have to go through. That's why when you see one case file, it's sometimes it is like bulk, like I think when Sahara case was going on, they have sent the SEBI as the regulator. They asked the files. Sahara company has sent trucks loads of documents. And which is to be cleared at the Aktrai by the border of the Bombay. Then SEBI said, we don't have storage space to keep all these files. Please take them back. We will go with whatever the evidence we have. We don't want your documents to be perused. We have our case in hand, but still, if you see some cases, it's loads and loads of documents you have to go through.
So the lawyers need to manually go through all these documents.
Most of them.
Most of them. So has AI, artificial, and this is my question, ma'am. I was just thinking about this question.
Artificial intelligence will help a lot in law also. Because now that it is the need of the hour in the COVID seasons, the virtual courts are functioning. Maybe artificial intelligence, again, it's a little dicey thing because you are dealing with a human. How in medical field, artificial intelligence
correct
role, in the same way here also, because you are dealing with the rights of an individual. Maybe that's why there is a saying, when a clergy means you can say priest, heals the soul of the individual, and the doctor heals the body of the individual. The lawyer helps the man to lead the better life in the society. Okay. So ultimately, when you talk about it, so artificial intelligence, how far and to what extent is the question?
Yeah.
So not to a large extent. Maybe, of course, it will help. It will ease the life. Now, because of the IT only, lot of ease happened in the doing of the profession. At one point of time, when we studied, lawyer, if he has to succeed and settle in the career, at least it used to take 10 to 15 years. But now I know my students, immediately after 1 or 2 years, they are opening their offices and they are flourishing. They are coming back, madam, this is my card, this is my office. I was wondering, it's very good, nice. This opportunity we didn't have, maybe thanks to the liberalization policies laid down in 96, 97, 98 by that particular government at that particular time. So now a lot of job opportunities, a lot of litigation, a lot of people are aware of their rights. There are a lot of increase in the litigation.
Right.
So because of the increase in the litigation, we have to, now the situation is that we have to see the alternate dispute resolution system. So these are all our flourishing life now.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Another question, ma'am. I'll just go fast now. We don't have much time remaining.
Yeah.
Is company secretary the best course to be pursued with the law degree?
Yeah, most of my students are, most of the company secretaries are doing law also. Okay. And I know some company secretaries, they left the company secretary's profession and they are doing law. They are practicing. I know some of them, because they considered this as a more maybe fetching career-wise or otherwise, maybe monetarily, finance-wise, maybe they are doing. But of course, it's an added advantage for a company secretary if he has a law degree. Yes.
Is there any internship in the LLB course, and is it compulsory?
You can do internship during summer vacations and vacation times. Always you can do. And how many ever internships you do, that is an added advantage to you. And it will enrich your CV, whether you want to go to a company or whether you want to go to a law firm or whether you want to do practice on your own also. That is an experience which will give you an added advantage. Yes, internship is a very, very advantageous thing which you can have.
Last question, ma'am, for the evening today, I think I'll take. What is the scope of IPR lawyers in India?
A lot of scope is there, a lot of scope because of the new innovations. As I told you already, technology, many companies are there. We have technology side like TCS, Infosys and all. And apart from that, science, pharmacy, physics, chemistry, all these people, and I told you media also. Even so many aspects are there. IPRs, a lot of prospects are there. Many prospects. At one point of time, not much, but nowadays, lot many. Because of even in the media field, if you see advertising, if you see movies, cine field and Bollywood, everywhere, lot many scope. Not only IPR and including media contracts, media litigation, lot many opportunities. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your patience and for taking all the questions. There are still many questions, but I think I can tell the students to get in touch with you or something, because I think on today's platform it's a bit tricky to include all the questions. Can I please request Miss Smita Sawant from Junior College to please propose a formal vote of thanks? Over to you, Smita, ma'am.
Hello, Ravneet, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
audible?
Yes.
You are audible and seen also.
Okay, thank you, Ravneet. A very good afternoon to everyone present. It is indeed an honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks to this such a rewarding session that we have just had. Well, at the outset, I want to express my gratitude to our management for the continuous and committed backing to all our endeavors to reach out to our student community. And today, we have been fortunate, we have been honored by the presence of one of our esteemed trustees, Advocate Anil Harish, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for gracing the occasion. And as always, you are very inspiring with the insights that you gave about the legal profession, about the pleasures and the advantages that it offers, about the responsibilities and the challenges involved. Thank you very much, sir. Opportunities are always around us. We need an observant eye to discover these. But equally important, it is, and greatly valuable also, are the stimulating insights that are given to us by such eminent persons like Anil Harish sir, and of course, our resource person for today, Shanti ma'am. Shanti ma'am, we cannot thank you enough for the valuable guidance that you have given our students, the quick glance that you gave at the course, the various career options that you told them about. Thank you very much. You have opened vistas for them for career options, various career options. Thank you very much. The American poet Walt Whitman had said, if you keep your face towards the sunshine, the shadows will fall behind you. And one person who has been constantly motivating all of us to be very positive, especially during these difficult times, and to keep our faces towards the sunshine, is our principal, Dr. C.A. Kishore Kishore. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for everything. I would like to express my very sincere thanks to Professor Mani Iyer, Vice Principal, Degree College. Sir, the initiative that you take and the cooperation that you give to promote the interest of students goes a long way to ensure the success of programs like we have had today. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, the backbone of all the events uh, of junior college, Mrs. Roma Wagh, Vice Principal, Junior College. I thank you, ma'am, for your solid support and the timely monitoring of every single aspect of every event, which makes it a very resounding success. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank my colleagues from Degree College as well as Junior College for their constant support and cooperation. According to a Chinese proverb, teachers open the doors, but you have to enter yourself. Thank you, you all wonderful students over there who have turned up for this event. I'm sure you have been immensely benefited by the valuable guidance given to you by Santi ma'am. And it's going to really help you make a good career choice. Thank you, dear students. A big thank you to you, Ravneet. Wonderful, wonderful anchoring, very thoughtful anchoring. Um, a thank you to all the non-teaching staff as well for all their assistance. And finally, a very special thank you to Team DIAP. You have been great partners in helping us translate our goals into reality. Thank you, Team DIAP. Once again, a very heartfelt thanks to everyone present. Over to you, Ram.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful vote of thanks. Thanks to one and all. We hope to see you again in the Disha series, and we will be back with more information and guidelines for a brand new profession. Thank you so much for the afternoon. Principal sir, can we please end the
Yes,
meeting?
yes. You've done a wonderful job. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, everyone today who has been with us today afternoon. Anil Harit sir, Shanti ma'am, thank you very much for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you so much for this afternoon. We are privileged to have you with us in this program. Thank you.
Smita madam, thank you for the wonderful vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I need to learn something. How you are framing your words and all for each one of us.
Well, thank you, sir.
I never thought vote of thanks would be so long and so beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Nice. Thank you, Shanti ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ravneet, wonderful job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well done, Ravneet. Well done.
Thank you, principal sir. Bye.
Thank you, Mani. Thank you, madam. Shanti madam
Thank you, sir.
especially.
I think Anil Harit sir is still there. He's still there.
No,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Can we end the program, sir?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yeah, Jibran, we can end the program. Thank you very much. Arshana, we can end the program.